Hello students, welcome to Shubhra Ranjan IAS. My name is Shubhanshu Jaiswal and let's start our daily current affairs practice. Now, in question 1 today we are going to discuss, consider the following statements with respect to National Green Tribunal. Fine, the statements are, the NGT was established to ensure the effective and expeditious disposal of cases pertaining to preservation and conservation of environment. So yes, they are clearly telling you the aim, the purpose of establishing NGT. NGT is what? National Green Tribunal. इसका काम क्या है? It basically resolves the cases, the disputes related to your environment. Fine. So environment, its conservation, preservation, these kind of issues are dealt by NGT. Fine. So the statement 1 is correct. Now the chairperson is appointed by the President of India. No, this seems correct, but it is actually incorrect because the chairperson of NGT is appointed by actually central government in consultation with CGI. Fine, CGI, Chief Justice of India. Now the third statement, it is bounded by the procedure laid down by under the Code of Civil Procedure 1908. Well, this statement is again incorrect. Look at the language. Bounded by the procedure. No, since it's a judicial body, it is not going to be bounded as such by this law. Fine. So it is just working under the principle of natural justice. That's it. So no such law is stopping it. So here the incorrect statements are 2 and 3. And question is asking you which of the following is incorrect. So the right answer would be option number B. Now why it is here? Because recently, see, time and again NGT will come in the news because environmental issues are always there in the newspaper. Fine. Now this time it was particularly because they have banned a cruise boat. Cruise boat, I hope you understand that luxury, the operational boat in Upper Lake in Madhya Pradesh, and they have also banned such economic activity in other wetlands as well. Fine, it is a wetland. Fine, I hope you understand the meaning of wetland, and it is environmentally very important, and such economic activities there can hamper the environment. That is why they have stopped it. Now NGT, it was established under a National Green Tribunal Act 2010. So it is what? It is a statutory body. Fine. Now structure, how this body is, what is the structure there? So it comprises of a chairperson and judicial members and expert members. Now judicial members, they are, as the name suggests, they are from the Indian judiciary who have the expertise in the matter of law. Fine. Whereas expert members are usually they have the expertise of the respective tribunal. For example, if this is NGT, they are going to have the expertise in environment. Fine. Chairperson appointed, we have discussed this. Now it is based on this we have discussed. There are two important acts which you need to know: Wildlife Protection Act 1972 and Scheduled Tribe and Other Forest Dwellers Act 2006. These are kept out of the jurisdiction of NGT. So these are two exceptions, you need to remember them. Fine. Now let's go ahead. Rest of the environmental acts like Water Pollution Act, etc., they are under the purview of NGT. Fine. Now recently Eastern Maritime Corridor was in the news. It connects which of the following countries? So the right answer here is actually India and Russia. Fine. The two Indian cities, that is your Chennai, not the two Indian cities, the Chennai of India and the Vladivostok of Russia are going to be connected by this route, and this is going to be very beneficial because it is going to shorten the distance, and if the distance is shortened, the cost of traveling, the fuel, etc., that will be saved, the time will also be saved. Fine. You can just have a look at the map. So this is the proposed path, maritime route. Fine. You can see it is going to pass from three important water bodies: the Sea of Japan, South China Sea, and then Strait Malacca. Fine. Strait of Malacca, it is in between Indonesia and Malaysia. Fine. So it is going to pass from like this. Fine. Now why it is in news? Because recently one of the cabinet ministers, they sent an invitation to the Indonesian workshop in Vladivostok, and that is why it was in news. And rest of the things we have already discussed. Right? This is the map. Now let's go ahead. Then we have considered the following statement with respect to Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana. I am very sure that all of you must have at least heard about this scheme. This is one of the very important schemes of Government of India. Flagship scheme it is. Fine. Let us look at the statements. The primary objective is to provide access to clean cooking fuel to women living in the below poverty line. Yes, this is very correct. They are telling you the aim, the objective of the scheme. So it is to basically provide the clean cooking fuel. Why? Because the traditional cooking fuel, for example the chulha etc., in the villages, burning the sticks, burning the wood, it is leading to it is detrimental to the health of women. Fine, especially in the rural areas. So in order to ameliorate their situation, this particular scheme is brought. Fine, it is providing clean cooking fuel, especially LPG. Fine, here in the objective they are not mentioning LPG, they are saying clean cooking fuel, and LPG is one of them. So just keep it in mind that Ujjwala Yojana is not only about LPG. Fine, it is being implemented by the virtue of LPG. Fine. Now to women living in rural areas and which are below poverty line. Now which is Ministry of Finance is responsible for implementing the scheme. Now this statement, second statement, is incorrect because the Ministry of Petroleum is looking after this. They are implementing. Fine. Now to be eligible for Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana, a beneficiary's household should belong to below poverty line. This is also correct. So here only 2 is incorrect. So 1 and 3 would be the right answer. Fine. Let's go ahead. Now why it was in news? Because recently Union Cabinet, they have decided to extend it to more 75 lakh consumers. Fine, under the Ministry of Petroleum, providing the access to clean cooking fuel. One important thing which you need to know extra is that they are providing the financial assistance of 1600 Indian rupees to the each household who is purchasing the LPG. Fine, and they are below the poverty line. Fine. Now on the very success of this Ujjwala scheme, government has also brought Ujjwala 2.0, in which beneficiaries will get the similar benefit. Rather, for the first time deposit, they will get the deposit free LPG along with the refill. Fine. So these are the things which you need to keep in mind. Ujjwala scheme you can actually mention in many places. It comes under the women empowerment as well. Fine. Health consciousness, you can relate it to health consciousness as well. Fine. Now the next question, consider the following statements. Number 1, in a seismograph, P waves are recorded earlier than S waves. Now this question is not directly related to current affairs. However, let us just understand the basic concept on the line of which we will be able to understand the question. Now this is the case of earthquake. Fine. So what happens? Earthquake, generally the source of the earthquake is always a hypocenter. What is hypocenter? This is the place where some sort of disturbance is happening. For example, the plates, they are shifting, etc. So inside the interior, inside the earth, this source, this point where this earthquake is emerging is called hypocenter. Fine. You need to remember these terms as well. Now what will happen whenever you throw a stone in the lake? That disturbance, it gets spreaded to the lake in the nearby region. Fine. Same thing is happening here. If disturbance is here, it is slowly spreading, and it is being spreaded by what? Waves. Such waves which are carrying this disturbance further are called body waves. Fine. Now what will happen? This disturbance will reach to the surface of the ground. Okay, when it reaches to the surface of ground, that nearest point where it first reaches the ground is called epicenter. Now what will happen? From epicenter, again this disturbance will be spreaded in this direction, in the surface as well, and this disturbance will be carried by surface waves. ठीक है, कहानी स्टार्ट होती है हाइपोसेंटर से, वेव्स स्प्रेड हो रही हैं इंटीरियर ऑफ अर्थ में, अर्थ के इनसाइड. ये वेव्स कैसे स्प्रेड हो रही हैं? बॉडी वेव्स के द्वारा. और जब ये बॉडी वेव्स सरफेस पे पहुंचेंगी तो सबसे पहले जो सेंटर होगा वो होगा आपका एपीसेंटर. एपीसेंटर से फिर ये ग्राउंड पे भी फैलना स्टार्ट होगी एंड इट विल बी स्प्रेडेड बाय सरफेस वेव्स. नाउ हियर कम्स द पिक्चर. बॉडी वेव्स आर ऑफ टू टाइप्स, P waves and S waves. P waves are called primary and S waves are called secondary. Fine. Now P waves होता क्या है कि P waves जो है आपकी वो पहले सरफेस पे आ जाती हैं, they are faster. Fine. अगर ये फास्ट है तो S waves will reach later. वो सरफेस पे थोड़ा रुक कर आएंगी. There will be a lag, time lag. Then second important point you need to remember is P waves, they can travel through solid, liquid and gases, whereas S waves can run only in the solid. They do not propagate in liquid or gases. Fine. So this basic information is required for you to remember. Now on the basis of this, let's look at the question. The first statement is, in a seismograph, P waves are recorded earlier than S waves. So yes, as we discussed, this statement is correct. In P waves, the individual particles vibrate to and fro in the direction of the wave propagation, whereas in the S waves, the particles vibrate up and down at right angle. What is saying? Suppose if this is a P wave, fine. If this is the direction of wave, fine. So in P waves, the particle will come forward like this. It is moving but in the direction of wave only. Whereas in the case of S wave, the particle is going to move like this. Direction opposite है. Direction अगर wave का ऐसे है तो particle का ऐसे होगा. Fine, 90 degrees पे. So this statement is also correct. Third, P waves do not travel through liquids. As discussed right now, this statement is incorrect. They can travel through liquids as well. So here 1 and 2 statement are correct. Fine. I hope this small concept is not that difficult for you, and I have explained it well. Just in case you need further assistance, you can just let us know. Whatever we have discussed regarding P waves and S waves is here. You will be able to download these PDFs from the link which is mentioned in our video description. You can just have a look and download it. For any doubt, you can just write it down in the comment section. We'll definitely help you. Thank you for watching this video. Have a good day.